the day, folks. We're going to Disneyland, Florida. Me and her, me and Mummy.
Me and her. We're ready, we're packed, we're just going through our checklist.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I'm back! Woo! And if you hadn't realised that I have been away, I have been away on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation to Walt Disney World, Florida for 2 weeks with my family. It was absolutely out of this world. Everything that I could have hoped it would be and more. I have vlogged so much useful content for you, so make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of these travel vlogs. This first one is all about my airport experience. We're going door to door from London to Orlando. I'm going to be talking about special assistance, I'm going to be talking about how I managed on the flight, and I'm going to be answering some of your frequently asked questions from Instagram. So stay tuned and enjoy. Trying to get the wheelchair in the boot.
Sorry, I'll move that way.
Off they go. And where are you guys going?
Dubai.
Yes.
Get a lift, get a lift.
Virgin yes, that's us.
There's me, look. The most un-Disney-like looking person here.
Oh, come on, Daisy, get in, let's have a photo.
So we're just heading to the check-in. Gem's panicking. She's got to check everything. Gem's been checking for special assistance. Now we're going first class.
Upper class, always.
Upper class.
Yeah, my colleague will check you in.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we didn't fly upper class, but usually when you go to check in at the airport, there will be a special assistance desk where you can check in and you don't have to queue. However, because we were so early, the special assistance desk was closed for Virgin, so they just checked us in upper class, and I wasn't going to complain.
There's my bag.
Nice.
My bag.
So when you go and check in at the airline, they will ask you a couple of questions. Have you booked special assistance, which I always book well in advance through the airline, and they will ask you if you're going to check your chair in there with your luggage, or are you going to keep your chair with you to the aircraft door. I always keep my wheelchair until I get to the aircraft door. They will give you a label, which is a tracked label to attach to your wheelchair. Make sure you attach this to a part of your wheelchair that's not going to come off, and make sure that it is visible. You'll get a receipt for it as well, so make sure you keep that nice and safe. I always keep it with my passports.
Should I get some with me?
He came too. He wasn't in any pictures or video footage, but he did come. We'll also ask you if you can walk from the aircraft door to your airplane seat, or if you need to have the aisle chair. And I request the aisle chair, which they should have ready for you when they take you down to the aircraft door. With the special assistance through the airport, they can offer things such as guiding you through the airport. They can offer electric car buggies for people who can't walk long distances. They also fast track you through security. Then you get through to the amazing special assistance lounge. This though, you can just come through all of the special assistance way. And look at this amazing. This is all
Facility.
I've never seen a special assistance lounge before.
Me neither.
They will give you a pager. Okay, so we're all through special assistance and we just literally glided through. It was so good. So yeah, we've got our pager and then we come back to the special assistance desk about an hour before, and then they'll take us down to the flight back. Oh, it was faultless.
Waffle.
Couldn't fault them so far. Now, one of the frequently asked questions that I received was, how do special assistants help people with invisible disabilities? There is a whole wealth of information on the Gatwick website about how they do help people with invisible disabilities if you fancy going and having a look at that. But they do help people with invisible disabilities, and one of the ways in which they do this is that they give you a different coloured pager. As you can see, the pager that I got had sort of a turquoise green colour lace around it. The people with invisible disabilities receive a pager with a different coloured ribbon around it. Now, you don't have to wear it around your neck if you don't want to, but you can have it upon your persons throughout the airport. The airport staff have been trained to identify the differences in these pages. So if you have autism, for example, you may want to carry that pager on you so that the airport staff throughout know that you have different needs to other families, perhaps. Let's go get some breakfast. I'm hungry.
I really want to hustle down.
There's no McDonald's.
Oh no. Epic fail. OMG. People everywhere.
I've never seen an airport this busy. I can't believe that there is no McDonald's here. But the little brioche, how cute!
It's a good substitute.
See how it is. Daisy's got a really cute sandwich. We're impressed, by the way.
Really cheesy.
Oh my god. So good.
Hit the spot. At least it's put something in there, fills the hole.
We're on our way to the airplane. We're going to meet special assistants down at the airplane, but we're making our way to the gate. When we have the special assistants, we don't normally have someone escort us through the airport to the aircraft door. We usually meet someone at the boarding gate, but you can either take the buggy or someone can push you if you want to be pushed, or they can escort you. But because I had Sean, we just made our own way down there. We are gate 52. Woohoo!
I've got your number.
Oh no, crashes.
Traffic jam. Jim's hitched the ride.
We hitched a cheeky little ride on this buggy. The guy in the buggy told us to follow him because he was taking people to the flight to Orlando, but he didn't realise that I was grabbing on. But it was so much fun, but probably don't recommend it.
I can keep up with you now, look.
I almost tripped over and fell flat on my face.
Oh, Daisy, you're going to be exhausted. This is so much fun. As I have said, I take my wheelchair to the aircraft door and then I transfer into the aisle chair, and they kind of strap you in like Hannibal Lecter, and then they take you right to your seat. If you do have special assistants, then what is quite nice is that you get to board the aircraft first before anybody else. So it gives you a bit more time to get your luggage up in the overhead lockers, get yourself sorted and get yourself comfortable. It's also quite nice because the aircraft isn't full of people, no one's sort of looking and staring at you. So we always board first. Another frequently asked question was, how is it transferring into the aircraft seat? I'm not gonna lie, it's quite tricky. The arms of the aircraft seat don't lift up, so you've kind of got to get over that big heavy arm, or you can come in at a bit of an angle, which is kind of hard for me to explain. One of the frequently asked questions was, what seat do you sit in on the aircraft? Now, when I'm flying long haul on one of the larger planes, I always request the bulkhead seats, and that would be my advice for myself and my needs. Now, the bulkhead seats are at the front of the row, and you will have the sky cots in front of you for babies. And it gives you just a little bit more room and a little bit more room to transfer as well, so you can come in at a little bit more of an angle rather than next to the seat. You can come in like this and transfer across rather than like this, how I transferred across. They're also closest to the toilet. Now, that was another frequently asked question. How do I manage going to the toilet? Well, let me explain. So on the long haul flights, they will usually have an onboard wheelchair. So when you are booking special assistance, if you need the onboard wheelchair, make sure to let them know that you will need it. So they had the onboard wheelchair, which is a thin little wheelchair, and I chose to go to the toilet in the dead of night when all of the lights on the aircraft were off. And 2 female cabin crew attendants helped me to the bathroom. One pushed me and one went in front of me so that the gangway was clear when we were going up the aisle. They got to the toilet. Now there is a disabled toilet on board, and this means that the door opens outwards completely rather than a concertina like the other doors do. The toilet is tiny and it is not easy, I'm not going to lie. There are a few grab rails to make it a tiny bit easier for you. The cabin crew helped me transfer. They also cleaned the toilet for me and they were absolutely fantastic. They made sure that nobody could see what was going on and I honestly couldn't fault them. Don't be embarrassed, they have been trained and it's just something that you've got to do. I kind of built it up in my head to be worse than it was, but then once I did it, I was like, actually, you know what, that wasn't that bad. I couldn't fault the Virgin cabin crew, they were absolutely amazing. I've recently found out that Virgin have taken their staff on a special course on how to deal with people with disabilities and also, importantly, invisible disabilities as well. And I felt, you know, so welcomed and I felt in really safe hands and nothing was too much of a problem for them and they weren't fazed by anything at all.
I've never had one of these on a plane before.
Everything is literally tiny. Like the cups are tiny, the cokes are tiny, the little platters, like when you get your food, are tiny, and everything's just tiny.
Tiny food for tiny people.
And then, but then the aeroplane is like ginormous.
Here she comes. In her skinny wheelchair.
But I haven't need a cushion, honey. Oh, you didn't want it.
She's alright with it, yeah.
Right. Another question I received over on Instagram was how do I look after my legs and prevent pressure sores and things like that. Well, I invested in some flight socks. I'm not entirely sure what they do, but I thought it's best to be safe than sorry, so I wore them. I also kind of massaged my legs as I was on the plane as well to prevent any DVT, deep vein thrombosis. Also, keep your wheelchair cushion and sit on your wheelchair cushion throughout the flight. I didn't, and let's just say I'm paying for it, and I was in horrendous pain on the way back. So annoying. You think of these things and then, anyway. And also try and remember to adjust your seat position throughout the flight as well to prevent any pressure sores.
Let's go. Off the monorail.
So when we got off the aircraft, we went straight into customs where we had to queue for, no joke, 3 hours. I'm just going to leave it there. It was horrendous. But we got approved and then we had to get this little monorail thing to the main terminal. It was completely accessible and I just rolled on. Just make sure you hold on tight though because I did kind of rock back like that. So yeah.
We made it!
We're here.
Amazing!
After 3 hours in the queue to get in.
Yeah.
Once we got to the main terminal, we then had to figure out how to reclaim our Disney dollars.
I've been watching the Get Thinky vlogs on YouTube and they showed us how to get our Disney dollars. So hopefully we've got the right lift. We go down to level 1, where all the rental cars are.
Hi if you're watching and thank you so much for your videos. They did a whole video on how to find the Virgin desk to reclaim your dollars. To reclaim your dollars is on one side of the airport, to get the Magical Express to your hotel is on the other side of the airport.
Oh, look, access to Disney's Magical Express is at Terminal B. So we come back up and then go across to B. Because this is A.
And I get the feeling that Virgin kind of do this on purpose. It was quite easy to find after watching Del's video, which I will leave a link to. Don't miss it if you're going to Disney. It was really, really useful. So thanks for that, Del.
Found it.
Because we were staying on Disney property, we got our hotel transfer from the airport included. So we had to board the Magical Express. These run very regularly throughout the day, so you don't have to worry about catching a certain bus at a certain time. We had the most awesome bus driver called Robert. He was so cool and so much fun. And we just rolled on, and you're given priority boarding on the bus, which is great. And I went up on this lift. I've never seen one of these lifts before, but it was great. I didn't have to get out of my wheelchair, and it just lifted me on, clamped me in, and off we went.
Going that way.
Daisy, you're on the Disney bus.
Right, you good?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard Disney's Magical Express.
Hi, we're at our hotel. Right.
Alright, I'll be right back for you. And y'all follow me.
Yeah. Look at her all the way up there.
Ready?
Like the Queen of Sheba coming in. Queen has arrived.
You're welcome. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let's go straight to check-in because there's a massive bus coming.
Okay.
They dropped us right at the front of our hotel, and that is where the adventure begins.
We got the bands.
I can't wait to show you the rest of my vlogs. Make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be doing a hotel tour, an accessible room tour. I'm going to be talking about so many things, all access related at Disney World, Florida. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to share this video with someone who may be traveling soon, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.